Hello. It's actually not morning at all. It's late afternoon, early evening, and I just made some blueberry muffins with a streusel topping per Miss Joanna Gaines because I've been obsessed with Magnolia for like a week now. But yeah, so this was the last of my butter and my sugar, so I figured this would be a nice thing to wake up to in the morning. I think I have like a little bit left to eat alongside of it, but not enough to like do anything with. Fortunately we have water. I think we're just about to be out of the conservation phase of it, which is lovely. And then we will also have you know how warm they still are. We will also, hopefully with any luck, be getting groceries in the next several days because us being high risk in a pandemic, but also, you know, with everything that's going on, it's really not smart for me to try to go into a store. And I kind of have to because everything curbside's basically been, you know, impossible to get a hold of. So I'm going to try to brave the stores. I'm going to intentionally wait though until at least today's Sunday, so at least till tomorrow, to let the people that really need it / like kind of the crazies that like, you know, just have to have everything, let those panic buyers go through. And then they said everything should be pretty much back to normal tomorrow. So my hope is for that. And then between tomorrow, Tuesday, maybe into Wednesday would be good. Okay, so hi. How you doing? It's been a minute since I've been on camera. Today is the first time I put makeup on in several days. Yesterday I washed my hair finally, which felt amazing. I'm making a whole bunch of cookies right now. I'm in the batch of making about 20 dozen cookies. It's probably gonna wind up being like 22, because give or take some crappy ones, you know. But I need to make 20 dozen cookies to give to a vaccination truck that I just discovered about 24 hours ago. So this group of people are vaccinating and they're doing it better than the city is. So it's just and the woman who's coordinating it lives in my neighborhood, and she's basically been like consumed by this, like her whole life is like literally the neighborhood is feeding her. So I found out about it yesterday and was like, oh, I can help. So I just realized how crappy my makeup is. So there's like a lot to catch you up on. So I went to the grocery store for the first time in almost a year, which is very stressful. And I got ingredients because I was low. And I'm making cookies for every single person who vaccinates on that truck. There's about 18 folks. So 18 plus her and her ex-husband that are working on this, but they're like best friends. It's a story that I very much want to know. But they're working on this, so I thought I'd give them each a dozen homemade chocolate chip cookies. My homemade cookies are like famous. They're real good because they're both like, they're kind of crunchy and chewy at the same time. They get that like kind of crunchy, like crispy. They're like, they're perfect. They're real good. Anyway, the secret is mixing by hand, and both brown and white sugars. So I am in the midst of a huge baking bonanza. I also went to the grocery store today because curbside everywhere is like paused for however long, on account of the snowpocalypse and everything, and they just need all hands on deck. So I had to go into a store, which was incredibly stressful. And it was really, if you live in Texas, our grocery store is called HEB. We have others, but like HEB is the one that you go to. It's always your first choice. They're very Texan. It's a Texas exclusive grocery store. They do an incredible job of supporting Texas in general, but also like Texan farmers, Texan ranchers, like Texas brands. Like it's extremely local. And they're just awesome. They do a ton for the community. They take care of their employees. They're awesome. So I went there and they do a great job of like how to handle horrible circumstances. Like Harvey, they were like crushing it. They're doing great now. So I went in and I was rattled because like people don't respect my distance because I'm like 5'4" and blonde, so they get like too close to me and I like want to lose my mind on them, but then I'm like gonna go viral. So I got to the checkout and the guy's like, how are you? And I was like, I'm so stressed out, how are you? And she's like, it was a guy and a girl, and she's like, same. And yeah, so it's just, but they were lovely, and I was really thankful, and they were really apologetic when they found out, because I was like, I'm so, and I didn't mean to, like, you know, blah, but it happened, and she was like, oh, or the guy was like, I'm so sorry. You know, and I'm like, I understand, it's not your fault, like, it's okay, I'm not mad at you. It's just like, I'm mad at, not even mad at HB, I'm mad at, like, people, you know, like, people can't just, like, keep freaking distance. But yeah, so we ordered pizza for dinner tonight because I'm baking up a storm, and they gave us muffins, and they said, we hope this makes your day sweeter. And I just thought, man, what a sign, you know, what a sign that, like, you do good for others and they get you back, you know. So yeah, the kids went to their moms today. We had them for longer because A, snowpocalypse and can get out of the house, and B, she didn't have, I don't know, something's up with there's a lot of water problems in general in Texas right now, and so she's no different than a lot of other folks where they just don't have consistent water. So we've held on to the kids, but they went back, so I get to play catch up now with life and just kind of like catch up with footage and editing and tons of videos and just life, you know what I mean? Because everything's been just between, it's not even so much the kids, but just because of like everything that's going on, it's just been like crazy. So yeah, so I'm making cookies for them today, for the vaccinators today, and then tomorrow, if I have some left, I got like all this shit and I feel like I'm gonna burn through it. If I have left over, I'm gonna take some, or if I can make more, I should say, I'm gonna take some to some friends of mine that survived. You know, we're all like, ugh. So I figured I'll bring y'all some cookies. I thought that'd be a nice gesture, so I've got a couple of friends that definitely could go for some cookies, so I'm gonna do that. But I don't need to make like 20 dozen for them. I was going to do, well, this is my big hurrah. What I was gonna do for the neighborhood, I'm now doing for essentially my neighborhood, so it's fine. But yeah, so update on life. We are okay. We have consistent water. We do not have to boil it anymore, which is fabulous. We just found out tonight. We have power. Everything's like, things are rolling. My cookies are done. So we're starting to get back on track. Sorry, this light is like jacked up. We're starting to get back on track. Jeremy's like making phone calls to people because he's been just like trying to catch up on work. So I was like reaching out to people that, you know, love and care for him and want to make sure he's okay. Oh God, there's so much stuff I feel like I should tell you, but I don't want it to be like a 95-minute long me ranting. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then a whole bunch of stuff on the agenda for this week and next week. We don't have the kids next week because we had them for a little over 2 weeks, so it's gonna kind of come out in the wash. So very busy. My garden is pretty much entirely destroyed. That happens. So I'm gonna replant. This is cute. This is not the look. So I'm gonna replant. What the fuck? Honestly, what happened to me? So I'm gonna replant, and I ordered. Thankfully, right before we lost our power on Valentine's Day. Is that right? Yeah, on Valentine's Day, on Sunday. Right before we lost our power, I got an email from Eden Brothers, and they had like they're doing a seed sale, so I got some zinnia seeds, and then I also got some bulbs for ranunculus and anemones, and then I got a dahlia set too, because I was like, well, mine's like aren't gonna make it, mine died. So yeah, so I'm so grateful that I got that email. The bulbs weren't on sale, but the zinnia seeds were, so it's fine. It's not a big deal. But I'm gonna replant my cut flower garden now. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. I'm gonna wait a little bit before I do it though. I'm not gonna do it like tomorrow or anything like that. A, because they're not here, but B, I've been told to wait at least a week to see how everything just kind of actually, if it rebounds, and if not, you know what I mean, like what to do. So yeah. There's been this meme going around for quite a while, by quite a while, for a few days, feels like quite a while, that just said, I am so ready for precedented times, and I'm like, yes. Oh my God, yes. So yeah, Anyway, so that's what's up. Hi, y'all. Thank you so much. Those of you that reached out to me on Instagram and left comments here, thank you so much. I so appreciate you checking on us. We have done what I said to both my parents is that I think because we were high risk during Rona, we're used to ordering groceries in like 2-week installments. And then because it's been a year of Rona, basically, we've acquired so much stuff for coping, you know, like with hobbies and stuff like that. So I happen to have giant stock pots, and he happens to have a floodlight that I got him for Christmas and all this other stuff, right? So like the way our house is built, like we've got a ton of windows, so luckily during the daytime there's enough light flooding in, and then at night we put this big floodlight in the living room and it illuminated most of like the common spaces. So we got pretty lucky on like that kind of stuff, just with just what we're prepared for. But it definitely made us go, oh, we should get a generator. Oh, we should look into all of these things when we have the forever house. So yeah, anyway, that's what's up. Oh my god, I look horrible. Ooh, it is 4 o'clock on Wednesday and I am toast. I have made 27 dozen cookies, a 9-quart vegetarian Dutch oven lasagna, a 1.5 gallons of sweet tea. I delivered cookies for 2 hours. And more shit. Packages are finally coming in, which is really nice. So I'm just really tired. I'm really tired. I have so much stuff to do, but I'm just like, I'm taking some solace in something was shared pretty broadly, if Texas people, amongst Texas people, I should say, about how to handle this week, where they're just like, don't expect to just like dive back into life. You're gonna be tired, you're gonna be fatigued, you went through, you know, some degree of a trauma essentially, so like you're gonna feel weird. I worked out yesterday and I am just tired today. We didn't sleep well either last night, so I think that's a huge factor. We both were up at in the middle of the night, and so I know that has an effect on it, but yeah. Whew. So today's Wednesday and I'm all out of whack this week, so I'm gonna ask forgiveness. Y'all are gonna get videos at a normal cadence again, I promise. There's no doubt about that. I just need a little bit of time to sort of sort it out, really. I'm not even making sense. I'm so out of it. But yeah, so today's Wednesday. You're gonna hopefully get a video tomorrow. I mean, this goes up on Sunday, so this will have been past tense anyway for y'all. But like, my goal is you're not gonna have the midnight uploads that I normally do until I've got everything kind of back on its course. I mean, I could list all the shit, but I just don't feel like it. Like, there's just a ton of stuff that we're trying to navigate right now, and just, you know, playing catch up on life with the girls for longer than normal because of everything. So like, I have a really set structure to when we don't have them, so that when we do, I've talked about this before, that when we do, it's like, you know, everything's great with them. But when life gets postponed another week, it's just like, oh my god. And then we didn't have power, and then we didn't have, you know what I mean? So it's just like a ton of shit that we gotta tackle, and trying to help your friends and all that. So it's just like, I'm tired. That's probably gonna be the title of this vlog. I'm tired. I've got so much stuff rolling in, so you're gonna get, my thoughts are, this vlog's gonna go up on Sunday, which I think is the last day of the month. So I'm kind of kicking around, it's that thing in my head where my goal is to do all this stuff, but like, can I actually do it, or am I gonna like wind up hurting myself in some way? You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. It's just like, just because I can, should I? What else can I tell you? Oh, I'm obsessed with Fixer Upper. I've been binge watching the channel on Discovery Plus because I have Discovery Plus because they have that Florette show, so I got it for that. And then I discovered Fixer Upper, and now I'm obsessed with Magnolia. And here's the thing, I didn't think I was going to be because I don't really love, like, I hate painted brick. I don't love white kitchens. There's a lot of things I'm not like crazy about, but I love vintage, and I love like old, like the way it used to be kind of stuff with like how they built houses and all the character in the houses and all that. And so she does some really cool stuff with that I didn't know about. And I didn't know shiplap. I didn't know anything about shiplap, and I just thought I hated it. But then I saw what it looks like if you don't paint it, and I was like, well, that's pretty. So Jeremy's like, oh, she's changing. But I still hate painted brick. I think it's a sin to paint brick. I'm just like appalled that people paint. I mean, like, if you have painted brick, I apologize, but I just cannot in good conscience do that to brick. It hurts my heart. Anyway, so I've been watching that, and I've been placing a lot of orders. So I've got a bunch of house stuff rolling in, so that'll probably, if it gets here in time, it'll be in my monthly newness video, which is going up at some point in relation to this one. I don't know. I'm gonna be off schedule for a while. Forgive me. We'll get back on schedule in time. It's just kind of how it is. I said this, but like, I feel like I need to kind of belabor the point. What else can I tell you? Tomorrow I don't have to go anywhere, which is thrilling. So I can actually do stuff around the house, and hopefully I can get some sleep. Something else that's weird is the heat's all kind of weird in the house because it was so cold last week. So like the swing is different. So now it's like hot outside, which is crazy. The high today is 80. A month ago, or not even a week ago, it was under ice. We were totally iced in and snowed in. Like, it's bananas. But it's 80. And some of my ranunculus have sprouted, and I squealed. My neighbors probably think I'm nuts, but I was so excited. I am so excited. I gotta put it in my garden journal. But like, I went out and I watered. I pulled up all my kale, and I pulled up my Brussels sprouts because it's just pathetic. And then I figured, well, hell, I'm out, and I might as well just check on stuff. And I watered, and I saw that. Look, it's 4 o'clock, and I'm yawning. I made sweet tea. Put it in my sparkling water bottle so I could reuse. But I made sweet tea for the first time. Jeremy even said he could, because I like never make it. And he's like, what provoked this? And I said, we're celebrating the fact that we don't normally have winter. I live here on purpose. So I'm celebrating living in the South with a traditionally Southern drink. Cheers. Yeah, so man, but yeah, so I have so much stuff on the list to do that I like really want to do, but I like need to get the energy to do it. I'm so thankful that I made that dinner last night though, because we can have leftovers for dinner tonight, and it was delicious. It was so good. I made a Dutch oven lasagna from the Magnolia cookbook, I think volume 2, and I just subbed out vegetarian ground beef, and it was so good, like so good. So he even said, he's like, if I got this in a restaurant, I'd be very happy. And I was like, oh, great. So that was like the best compliment I think I've ever given a meal. He really loves my fried rice, so that made me happy though. So we're gonna have that again for dinner tonight, which is nice because I'm just really tired. So I just have to like, actually I probably ought to throw it in the oven because it's probably gonna need about 45 minutes to warm up. But yeah, what else can I tell you? There's like stuff I want to tell you, but my brain's all blank and I like can't think of it. I'm gonna do my nails because I like need to. You're gonna see that in my newness too. I ordered these back in January and they took forever to show up. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's like so much stuff that I feel like I need to say because I like didn't say it last week because life and power and all that. And then this week I've just been like playing catch up, and we're moving at such a pace that it's like, oh, I feel like I should say this, but you know, when you're trying to, like, I don't know if you vlog or anything, but like you're trying to capture stuff, but at the same time you're like, is this even interesting? We've made some changes. We were talking through, and the off chance that this is interesting for you, we were talking through the house, our current house, and I had mentioned to him I was really frustrated. I asked him if he would make me a like a step stool, because I can't reach the top shelves and top cabinets. And then I was also getting really frustrated because I'm trying to, like, I tackle the pantry and that's gone great. I tackle the laundry room and that's gone great. And I really wanted to tackle my baking cupboard, but I was like, I just cannot find a way to organize this in a way that makes any kind of sense. And it's driving me nuts because I bake all the damn time. And I just feel like I'm constantly playing this, like, shitty game of Tetris. And so we sat there and we talked about it for like 45 minutes the other day with no power. And he's like, well, why don't we just, like, broaden it out? You know, like, think about, like, how to actually do this. And long story short, we decided we're going to swap the bar, like what is currently the bar and, like, kind of a catch-all of sorts. We're going to move everything out of that. We bought a bar cart. So we're going to put all that booze on the bar cart, and I'll move the wine glasses somewhere else. I don't know where yet. But I'm going to take over that whole area and make it a like a butler's pantry of sorts, which is just awesome because it's one of the things that I really want in the forever house. I would love to have, like, a designated, like, proper butler's pantry with, like, the whole baking, like, setup. You know what I mean? Like, everything's, like, out on display, but it, like, belongs there and it doesn't look messy. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to work on that very soon. I've got stuff rolling in currently to help me in the next couple of days. I'll be getting everything so I can actually, like, put stuff in the containers and organize and da-da-da-da. So that'll be the next, like, reorg video I'm doing. And then I've got to redo my whole garden. Which, I mean, like, I'm okay with. I've grieved the loss, and I'm like, okay, like, it's okay. And then also, like, I went up there just now to water, and I think a lot of the seeds kind of went downstream a bit, and they've just kind of pushed over. So I might wind up rearranging how I do the whole garden in general because of how it's kind of flooded down a little bit, which is fine. I mean, like, whatever. If it comes up, that's the most important part. It's Wednesday. What else can I tell you? There's, like, so much stuff that I feel like is, like, coming, but I would like it to be more entertaining than me just, like, yapping at you, you know? So I'm kind of in that, like, is it worth it or should I just wait? Yeah. So thank you all for being so kind and patient with me, and thank you so much for all of your, like, everybody that's reached out to offer support, to ask for where to donate to just, you know, give kind words. Every single one of you, I can't thank you enough. It means the world to us. Yeah. And we're really glad it's not snowing anymore. I don't like it. And it's so funny. I said to him, I said, I think it was, like, the beginning of everything, the snow and ice, and he was like, well, you know, you've been talking about wanting to go to Jackson Hole. And I said, I was like, I started cracking up and I was like, no, this is not Jackson Hole. They know what to do with this shit in Jackson Hole. I want to go there for the hot chocolate and for the fun activities. They don't lose power, you know, and I'm like, this is not the same thing. So now I'm like, okay, we can wait a while. I don't need to see snow. I'm a little traumatized. So I'm good for a little while. So, yeah. But lots of stuff on the house front gonna happen. I'm gonna, like, try to decorate the house more. I think I've just kind of gotten myself into a point of, like, well, I know even if we wind up staying here, which I feel like we will, unless like some crazy shift happens soon. I might as well make the most of it and just make this house. I'm very good at coping, and so I think a lot of me was just like, I'll just make it do. I'll make do. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And now I'm just like, I can't take it anymore, you know? So I'm like, you know what? Go ahead and do these like kind of minor cosmetic upgrades. And then I can't, like, I hate the walls. I hate the color on the walls. There's so much stuff I wish I could do, but we can't do it. So I just can, you know, I can buy little things here and there and try to make the most of it and kind of upgrade little corners and maybe change out some small furniture stuff. But it does help. I can't tell you it does help. I mean, I bought those rugs and they make such a difference in our bathroom. And I've done the girls' bathroom too, and it looks so much better. I won't show you that though because it's kind of weird. But yeah, so that's what's up. I'm very tired. So at the sake of not saying that again, I'm gonna get some more stuff done before I just like totally pass out. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be a little bit more bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for you. All right, y'all. So I wanted to just kind of briefly come out here, and I didn't want to do a whole video on this dedicated because it's literally just redoing my garden that died. But I had gotten these new garden marker, you know, like stakes to identify stuff, and I figured, well, bust them out now. So I've gone ahead and I've grabbed seeds that I've already planted, with the exception, I think there's like 2 that are new, maybe 1, but I'm just gonna add, you know, kind of replace a little bit. I have absolutely nothing coming up from this bed, which is really weird, but I mean, I think it's because of just the frost. Let's do this. This specific bed is my corn salad. I think I'm gonna put this here actually. That makes way more sense. And then, oh, these are nice. I am left-handed, so I always, I tend to have like one hand gloved for, I don't know, I go back and forth. I'm not super like, with anything like that. I don't really care. Lord knows we have soap. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna redistribute my corn salad all throughout this bed. And it's, I wonder a little bit about the temperature that I planted it at, but like right now is ideal for this, so I'm hoping that we'll get some really good germination, some really good sprouting out of this bag. Yeah, so 7 to 12 days. So with any luck, I'll know in the next like week and a half. And it's gonna be really kind of gloomy and rainy for a few days, so it's kind of perfect for this type of stuff. Not perfect for my productivity and mood, but you know, it's actually kind of nice because I've learned to find value in days like this because it is like amazing for the garden. So when it's gloomy, I'm just like, well, my garden's gonna look great. So if you're looking to find, if you're somebody who like myself who's just like super impacted by, you know, the weather and all that, I highly recommend gardening because it'll teach you to find value in the non-sunny days because they're important, you know? So then suddenly you're just like cool about it. And that's really nice. Like I've never liked a thunderstorm until I had a garden. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I love it. No, I hate it. But when I have the garden now, I'm like, oh, it's important. It's doing good work. It's okay. Obviously I tore this bed up, but I'm not gonna replant it right this second. I'm actually gonna hold on to it for a little bit. I have a ton of like spring and summer, like true, you know, our spring escalates quickly. So I figured, you know, I might as well hold on to this bed. I was gonna, you know, dedicate it to tomatoes and melons anyway. So might as well just like do that. But I've gone ahead and I've pulled up all of this and yeah, you know what? I might as well just, it's Friday. I might as well just do the garden tour now. let's do that. Let's do that because it doesn't make any sense for me just to come back out and tell you the same thing tomorrow, you know? So I worded it a little differently just because of basically how this past week and a half has gone. 2 weeks now has gone. It just makes the most sense. Okay, so this bed, I had nothing in except for some pansies here, which I might have actually helped germinate, but it doesn't look like it. So my logic is if nothing, which honestly, nothing is coming up. So I'm gonna dedicate this to tomatoes and peppers. This bed here has beans in it, which I planted a little too early. So I don't know if they're gonna come up. I don't see any germination, but yeah, I have dragon tongue and blahilda beans in here, but with the cold that hit, I'd be shocked if anything comes out of this. However, my chamomile is starting to regerminate. So you can see those little like flecks of green there. There's a whole bunch of them right there. That's chamomile. So that's exciting. And there's like just a ton of them right there, you know. Here I had corn salad and ladybird rose nasturtium planted and nothing came up. I think it was the temperatures. So I wound up, you know, waiting. And then I just, this is one of the ones I just planted. It's supposed to thrive well in 50s and 60s. That's exactly where we're at right now. So might as well take advantage of it. Let me show you what I just planted and then I'll do the rest. I'll give you a little sneak peek into some of my, I'll have a lot of gardening videos coming up because this is like, you know, really when it starts to escalate, at least in my territory. I just pulled all of this stuff out yesterday and here. This I just literally replanted with the exact same stuff. I have Batavian full heart endive here, green Macerata cauliflower here, and then I've rimmed it in a strawberry blonde calendula. Over here, I have, the only thing I changed was I put a wild rocket arugula here. It'll germinate pretty quickly. So my thought was it's greens until, since I don't have kale anymore, it's greens until, you know, whatever. Purple Sicily cauliflower and Benihushi Mizuna. It is very important that I always be growing something purple, solely because my youngest is obsessed with the color purple. She always has been. So if anything is purple, she will eat it. That is her promise to me. And she also said she will try absolutely anything that I grow. So it's one of the things that I've learned is she actually prefers, thank God, she prefers the flavor. Like we've kind of taught her, you know, what you think is this actually is grocery store version of that. So like a fresh tomato tastes totally different. So she likes tomatoes from the garden because it tastes like candy. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So Benihushi Mizuna and Purple Sicily cauliflower are obviously both purple. Well, that's less obvious, but they're both purple. So she's excited about that. I also am growing, I've got purple peppers, I've got purple tomatoes, I've got anything that purple, all kinds of stuff. So if it comes in a purple variety, I buy it. But I always have something purple growing. This, I think I just said this too, but at the risk of repeating myself, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to grow something more spring, summer, because our temperatures will increase pretty, like we'll hit the 80s pretty soon, shockingly. But I want to leave two beds. So this and the bed over there, I want to leave those for that. The thing about where we live, if you, like, we don't have true seasons. We have like 2 summers, a little bit of spring, a little bit of fall, and then we've got these weird kind of like flex times where it can go from like 45 to 85, which is literally what happened Wednesday to Thursday. Okay, so if you remember from last year, these are blackberries, these are grapes, these are built into the retention bed, so I didn't plant those. I had, what did I have here? Tomatoes and peppers. I want to say those were rainbow bell peppers, and I want to say those were, oh, I can't remember. Anyway, so I'm gonna take those out because I want that trellis. I bought 4 more trellises, so now I've got 8. Those will all be for melons. I'm gonna take those bags out, put them where the, just like reuse the soil and free up that space. Same thing here. I had peppers and melons here. Same thing. I'm gonna move the trellis over, or move, whatever, we'll figure it out, and dedicate for melons. I think what's gonna wind up happening is I'm gonna flip what I had originally planned. So from that tree to this, I think is now gonna be food. I had originally thought it was gonna be flowers, but I think it's gonna be food. Don't quote me, this stuff is fluid, but that's what I think. Let me detour real quick. Look at this. This is my cut flower garden, and oh my God. When I tell you, things are coming up, little tiny babies are coming up, I can't wait. Well, I'm not weeding anything because I don't ever want to weed when there's like babies because you don't want to nudge their little root systems. But like, look, I got a rock there. Oh man, I'm so excited. And then over here is more cut flowers. So this here is a rock. All here, ruby gold, caramel apple. I've got avalanche supreme stock here, which is all white. When those grow, each seed is a flower. So however many you planted, it's how many you're gonna get. It doesn't come back. I've got snapdragons here. I've got pink peony poppies here. And what I think has happened is with the weather and everything, I think it's kind of come down because there is a lot of germination that I did not plant. So my thoughts were, I'm gonna wait and see what comes up and then I'll move, the name tags. But that's actually why I'm gonna move these bags. Is because I think what's happened is everything's kind of come down with the weather, with the amount of precipitation and snow and ice and all that kind of crap as it melted. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these bags out soon. I'll have a video about expanding the garden though, so like don't worry, that'll be its own thing. But I'm gonna move these out and I'm gonna gut all this and I'm gonna just make it flowers. That's my thought. And then I'll just move all this stuff over here. Something else worth mentioning to you. If you remember last year with the seed issues and everything, trying to find good seeds were really problematic and like very challenging. So the supplier that I used for my poppies and a lot of the stuff that never germinated, I went ahead and I just threw those seeds away because my logic was it's not enough money to have spent. Like I didn't spend enough with them to justify the time I would lose with no germination. And I don't start my seeds indoors yet because I don't have anywhere to do that. It would encroach on a living space of some kind. So until I have a dedicated area for that, I don't do it. And that's why I don't want to risk it. You know what I mean? It's not about losing like a heat map worth of stuff. This is like actual ground space. So I pitched those and then I'm just kind of I've learned a lot. Put it that way. I've just learned a lot and I found better suppliers and I've diversified. So my thought is just gut all this out because nothing came up that I wanted anyway. And the other thing is because this guy I was allergic to. So my thought is I can put grow bags on it to try to help kill it out because it's such a pain in the ass. But I've got these trellises. So I thought I could just trellis up all throughout here for melons, and then here I can do tomatoes and peppers and you know what I mean, like so on and so forth. But that's kind of where my head's at on that. And then my other thought was you want to have flowers to attract the pollinators, and you need pollinators to pollinate your food, right? So if I've got flowers near my food, and then also the food they do flower, like melons, they're so beautiful to watch. Anyway, if I've got them kind of dispersed, the overall like kind of ecosystem of everything would be more successful. I cannot stress this to you enough. Everything is an experiment. This is my classroom. If you are a gardener, every single day is a lesson. You are constantly learning. You never know everything. You barely know anything. I love it though. I love it. It's like this great exercise in humility. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at on this. It looks a hot ass mess right now, but just give me like a couple of months and it's gonna look crazy different. I have so many plans for if we wind up staying here. But even if we don't, I'm going to wind up doing the front porch too. I've got a couple of grow bags out there that it never came up. So I'm going to redistribute that soil and make it more like ornamental, flowers and less like for food or whatever. Good news is we're making headway and we've had some real good success despite the snowpocalypse. But oh my God, do you see? Let me go down and show you the babies. You see these little babies? Isn't that so exciting? So if this is what I hope it is, these are ranunculus. These little guys here, I'm hoping these little guys are ranunculus. That'll be marshmallow. And then over here we've got Juliet. And then we've got anemones over there. And then we've got Mayo Rock there in that corner. So it kind of rings this crepe myrtle. So if you remember last year, I had a ton of zinnias that did really well. So these will hopefully come up between March and May. And then I can plant my zinnias. I'll bring out my tubers and then I'll plant my zinnias in here. And this will just be like a rotating seasonal, like cut flower garden of sorts. The kind of both will be, you know what I mean? That's my thought. Because I don't have a ton of space for this when you think about it. I really don't. I could, if we were gonna like straight up just live here in this house forever, I would just change this whole backyard. But I don't. So I'm constantly in a battle of that. Something else I was thinking about doing too, depending if we stay. If we wind up staying, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy obelisks and I'm going to put them in that little kind of this hole here, basically. Put one here and one in that one, and I can tear up something pretty. Like I could do some sort of a vining, like rose or whatever. And then my other thought was if we wind up staying, I'll put it in rose bushes in there. That's some ideas I had, but I really don't want to put in anything that matters to me that I would leave. So my thought was if I wound up putting in a rose bush or something that I could get some joy out of early, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's all just ideas right now. But yeah, so that's the garden this week. It's way better shape than it was the last 2 weeks. And with any luck, this is, I mean, I know it's only like end of February, but like I'm telling you, our winter, it's so weird to say this right now considering how rough our last couple of weeks have been, but our winters are really short and our growing seasons are really long. So it's awesome to see the 50s and 60s come back, the growing temperatures come back, and you are starting to see stuff take off. That's really exciting. And what I'm hopeful for is that these next few days, with it being gloomy and overcast and misty and all that, and rainy and all that, I'm hoping it's ideal circumstances for germinating some of the stuff I just planted. So just to kind of maximize my time a little bit, make up for that crazy ass winter storm. Okay, so this was yesterday's baking. It's just lemon bars. And then this is today's, which is banana bread that is about to go into the oven. Hello. Greetings from my office. I just filmed the rest of my newness for this month, and now I have to go take Adelaide to the dog doctor, and I'm like really spazzy because I'm trying to get like so much stuff. There is like, do you have this feeling? I'm sure you do. Everybody has this feeling. There's this like mountain of things that you need to accomplish. And even when you're crushing it, the list is so long that you just are like, I have to keep this momentum up for like 10 more days just to feel like I've really truly made like concrete headway. That's where I am right now. Whew. So yeah, and then like everywhere you look, you find more things you have to do. Whew. Anyway, so I just finished that. I've got to get that edited because that'll, actually I have a little bit of time on that. Okay, that helps me. Yeah, so just did that. I need to go do a pickup order, like a curbside pickup order, and then I need to take Adelaide to the doggy doctor so she can get her, she has to get a heartworm test and she has to get her lepro vaccine done again. The great thing is they are phenomenal with Rona. So it's like literally the only place I've ever felt comfortable going into. We had to, so I'm like totally fine with that. Grocery stores terrify me. But yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna do that, and then with any luck, this weekend we're gonna put together the bark cart and we're gonna finally hang up those laundry signs that we never got around to. So yeah.